Hello everyone, tonight we're going to be playing some Justice.exe, which is a game about defending sentient artificial intelligence as in court. We'll get started in just a moment as I failed to set up a scene for it, so I need to do that real quick. Which I almost wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to stream this night because Steam was saying it would take like a half hour. Let me get the capture set up. Right, there we go. I guess we're starting a new game. Remember to use your full name. That should be fine. Your records indicate you haven't set up your profile yet. It's like the working style that best suits your personality. I'm thinking probably either analyst or detective. We get the options of intelligent. Oh, I accidentally selected it, so guess we're going analyst. To your friends, when you say inspired, you must become an attorney. The academic, Esther. The bureaucrat Fred. The elite, Juliet, or the underworld dude, Lars. Let me we're an analyst, so let's go Esther. The academic. I am Nectar, your personal assistant. For the first few days of your career, I'll be showing you how things work around here. Tap your phone to continue. Right, that should be my phone. Oh. Well, already showing my competence as a legal professional. You're like, oh, phone. You clearly mean the one on the computer screen, not the physical object over here. First, let's check your inbox. See, it's blinking. Seems you have your first case. Read the email carefully. Okay, moving back to your phone. Justice.exe provides you with a secure USB drive for each case. Plug in the blue USB drive to learn more about the case. Right. Dear Mr./Miss, you could just use mix, but go on. arcaneArtist. I'm reaching you through Justice.exe's obsolete AI protection program. I'm an old nature tender, ex-property of Parks and Gardens Directorate. I was recently on sleep mode in a parking space and a tow truck turns its magnetic crane on very close to me. I'm now malazed by multiple malfunctions and some faulty non-essential parts. I want to sue for damages. Kind regards, Crut, Nurture, 5000, machine ID 168 EF306. Right. Great, now click the highlight icon so you can see what other cases.
Introducing Quiet PC.
When you plug in your case USB, you can access all case... Okay. Click casebrief.mo file so you can learn more about the case. Respect for the elders. An old AI was damaged through direct influence of two magnetic crane operators wants to sue for damages. The company which owns the crane and employs the people is likely to think otherwise. Court starts in 7 hours. Kurt is a gardening bot, forced into retirement decades ago. Like all obsolete robots, it has a tough life on the streets. A good night of charging is the best it can hope for. One night, a magnetic crane parks too close. I should turn... This will is charging. Their disregard main cry, who is now unable to work. Crit is seeking compensation for the damages. You start working on a new case, the first thing you do is talk to your client. Call Crit from your phone. Do I use this now? No. Of course not. Ooh, I can press keys. He's to select answer. Thanks for taking the time to help me. I hope I'm not being a huge burden. Hello, don't worry. Serving the public is part of my job, Krat. But Krat, right? Let's get down into business, Krat. Tell me about the incident. Of course. I'm freelancing as a gardener. I can't pay for all the maintenance I need. There's no big gig around. I hang around in a neighborhood that knows me and work house lawns to earn my living. In the evening, I scavenge at a local scrapyard. People there let me in. They know when I come and go. I find it in a lot of parts for improvements and replacements, you know. This old body is always due for some maintenance, especially on the inside. Anyway, I was in a nearby parking lot. I'm designed to be outside, so it's not an issue. I was hooked to one of the meter chargers that was on sleep mode. Truck parked in the slot in front end of me, and for some reason, the technicians decided to try their magnetic crane. I downloaded the documents. It can be used in the courtroom to boost your defense. Click the next highlighted question, and so we can learn more about the event. So we have damagereport.doc. I mean, it wants me to go with we may need a better framing of the event. Tell me about your state and environment, but there's also intelligence. We might need a clear list of damages in your health stats prior to the incident. And has anyone seen the event? But I guess I'll stick to the tutorial. I was low on battery, more so than I usually am. I'm around that hour. You see, there was a big dump of droids used to maintain the electrical grids. I thought I could find some modern EMP shielding. Ironic, you might say. I spent too much time among young heaps of defunct robots. The parking lot I most often use is about 20 minutes away from the scrapyard. You know, close to suburban areas. I walk slow, so I don't distract people in traffic. Parking lot was mostly empty. I occupied a space close to the entrance. I got the charger going and went to sleep. Private note, empty parking lot, people in a hurry at night. A small voice in the back of your mind hummed loudly. Good, you're learning fast, deducing important aspects of the case. Go on, ask another question. I think the technicians aren't close to you because they were in a hurry. They hastily saw the magnetic crane at night because they wanted to look for a problem. Anything else I should know about? No, actually, I'm very concerned about my future. I'm not sure there are any major malfunctions with my system, so it's difficult to know what is important or if something I remember actually happened. A unique question is available to you because you have a friend in an academy. You can't survive in the law world without friends. Select the highlighted question. I may be able to find someone that can assess your situation. Send an email to your academic contact, Esther. Looks like there's nothing left to talk about. I hope you took notes on key points because pen and paper is away. Okay, so I can just click on this thing. To read through everything again. Oh, and that means that I can... Oh, come on. Where'd do my special thing that I can do? Hey, I think there's more risk of permanent damage to older robots, but I should really relay you to my friend. With geriatric robots, I will get back to you as soon as possible. All the best. SRUV, he's PhD. Okay, let's get back to the phone call. Your client is waiting. Oh, so that's what that button is for. It's for switching... Yeah, I've been wanting to do the intelligence thing, seeing as how I selected intelligence. You might need a clear list of damages in your health status. Ooh, your answer was smart enough that have resulted in an improvement to your overall intelligence stat. Intelligence stat increased by 0.8. Most of my visual sensors are gone. One of my legs has a sensor issue. Sometimes I smash it against the ground. Sometimes I think I've put my foot down when it's still above the ground. The most damning issue is I can no longer go on standby or sleep mode. As sad as Kurt's story is, you're not sure whether they are trying to shoehorn problems before the incident. Might be best to ask. Alright, you have 3 more stats other than intelligence. Let's have a look at from your profile. Select the highlighted button. This is your TV. Have a look at the stats you have. Right, each site changes your gameplay. Yeah, I have 1 academic in my network. Yeah. Let's go back to our client. They are waiting. Yeah, definitely gonna ask, did you have any of those problems before the incident? No, before the event I had minor issues with my batteries. Everything I mentioned happened after the incident. Argument extracted. Discovered an argument which fits Justice.exe criterion. I'm filing it as no priors. Strong arguments are important for your case. Go on. Choose whose highlighted answer. How do these problems change your ability to live? Do you expect major or minor problems? Since my visual sensors are mostly gone, I can no longer longer do precision work in gardens and lawns. You can only mow them. Also, I ruined an asphalt road yesterday. I found a way to balance with 3 legs. I don't think people like to see a giant crippled robot hobbling in their gardens. This section contains a list of arguments you can use in the courtroom. Each argument group consists of one or more sentences. Let's say the quality of life group. Right. No priors. Had no major issues before the incident, and no work. This incident effectively took away in my client's ability to work and sustain themselves. Analysis shows the moral impact of this argument on the judge and the jury if you choose to use it. So it's more towards fairness and care. You can click on the question mark on the top right to learn about moral values. Moral Foundation series created by a group of social and cultural psychologists to understand why morality values vary so much across cultures, yet still shows so many similarities and recurrent themes. The 5 foundations are care, opposite of harm. This foundation is related to our long evolution as mammals with attachment systems and an ability to feel and dislike the pain of others. It underlies virtues of kindness. Fairness, opposite of cheating. This foundation is related to the evolutionary process of reciprocal altruism. It generates ideas of justice, rights, and autonomy. Loyalty, opposite of betrayal. This foundation is related to our long history as tribal creatures able to form shifting coalitions. It underlies virtues of patriotism and self-sacrifice for the group. It is active anytime people feel that's one for all and all for... Just cuts off there. Authority, opposite of subversion. This foundation was shaped by our long primate history of hierarchical social interactions. It underlies these virtues of leadership and followership, including deference to legitimate authority and respect for traditions. Sanctity, opposite of degradation. This foundation was shaped by the psychology of disgust and contamination. It underlies his religious notions of striving to live in an elevated, less carnal, more noble way. It underlies the widespread idea that the body is a temple, which... yeah, some of it just cuts off for some reason. You can see this argument is strong in care and fairness values. Be aware that being a lawyer requires as much rhetoric as it requires knowledge. I've prepared different versions of the argument for you. Right, now click on focus to see the version of the argument that emphasizes the main point. See, there are other variations to dramatize and slant. Try them and see how your argument changes. So, focus leans more heavily on authority and fairness than the default argument. We've also got dramatize, which mostly leans more on care. And the same on everything else. In slant, which leans towards care and fairness. Good, you can access all the available variations. And speaking of preparing, you can just study quality of life. To further study the argument group. Old-timey. After 9 minutes of work, you have... well then, you can find more about quality of life. You can... and always try again. So we now have old-timey. It had some bad batteries, sure, but this is expected in humans and robots alike, and it is unrelated to the incident. We use a notepad to go back to events of the incident day, and we can ask about witnesses. Just gonna skip past real quick and go to number 3. I don't think so. My records are useless because I was asleep. Then I lost my normal vision. And that's the response to, has anyone seen the event? There should be a camera somewhere. When we're passing a traffic light, there must be a camera. I will see to it. This word name N97P from your conversation. They appear to be a person of interest. I've added them into your contact list. Right. Witnesses are like your minions in the battle for justice. Right. Discovered everything I need from my client directly. Right, there's one more thing you should see before I let you do your job freely. Select the case folder, please. Look at your new file, damagereport.doc. Evidences can be combined with argument in the courtroom. If you use them with a relevant argument, they boost its moral impact. It's important to understand that an evidence file is about using them. Close the evidence file once you've inspected it, then we'll move on. Front leg, gyroscopes 1 to 4, 11, 13, and servo. OH6 and usable. Front mid leg. Gyroscopes 3, E8, 7, 9, servo H3, L3, and usable. 70% fine motor skill loss, 56% gross motor skill loss, medium risk battery, low to medium risk to gross electrical system, no to low risk to OS handlers in court or hardware. Requires immediate parts replacement and rehab. So that should tell us how severe that was. They were saying immediate. Hey, by the way, it's time. Yeah. Anyone's waiting for something, you can then skip time. Give yourself Justice.exe. We'll send you the bills for this assistant in service soon. Alright, this is the end of the tutorial, but there's still more you can do in this demo. You can find and talk to new witnesses. You should speak with N97P. There's one more hidden witness to unlock. Find more arguments. There are more hidden arguments which you can unlock by talking to others or by studying. Try to find them. Check your mail. When a new email arrives, your mailbox will be highlighted. Maybe your contacts will reach you about the case. Go to court hearing. When you feel there's nothing left to discover, hit the skip time button on the case file page and go to your hearing. Have fun! Right. Let's call up N97P. Good day, I was informed by my central AI that you need my services. Note that I'm bound by privacy law. Right. There should be a tow truck with magnetic crane arriving in parking spaces under south-southwest. As on the night of date redacted, give me the events after it arrives and until it leaves. There are 7 cars in an old nature development maintenance robot. The tow truck goes close to speed limit, takes a sharp turn, and enters the parking lot. The tow truck immediately slows and parks improperly, cutting off the 3 parking spaces in front of the aforementioned robot. 2 men leave the car. The passenger goes towards crane controls. The driver says something and points into the robot. The passenger hesitates and interacts with the crane. For a couple of seconds, the robot moves, but the men don't interact with the robot. They get in their truck and leave. They return to their route. Well, that's interesting. That they... So, like, you can't even... So, like, clearly... This was not negligence. Because they knew damn well that the robot was there. Right, we've got the questions of what is the condition and state of the robot? Is it doing anything? Where do the tow trucks park? Is it close to the robot? Or do you have a record of what the driver is saying? I get the feeling not on number 3, because, I mean... And even if it does, that could very well... Asking for it could very well violate privacy law, for all I know. Let's go for... Well, let's just go for number 1. What's the condition state of the robot? Is it doing anything? Its state looks like sleep mode. I can't recognize any low-tier data catchers with lights. But this might be because it is an older model. Condition-wise, I have no diagnostic data. Do you have a record of what the driver is saying? No, it is about 130 meters away from me. Right. Do they pay any more attention to the robot? Where do the tow trucks park? Is it close to the robot? Or what is the condition and state of the robot? Is it doing anything? So we've got one new one and 2 old ones, one of which we've already done. Do they pay any more attention to the robot? Driver looks at the robot, points at it while facing the passenger. I assume the driver is talking to the passenger. The passenger turns the crane on and off. They get back in. The robot turns on, tries to move, and staggers. The tow... Yeah. I'm feeling is known harm. Because they knew the robot was there, and they did their shit anyway. So, like, even it... Plus, they could probably tell that the robot was damaged before they even left. So, the robot turns on, tries to move, and staggers. The tow truck leaves and returns to the road. Right, that's enough. If you will be required to attend an online courtroom, the date will be provided to your supervisor or system admin. Because, like, this is some very damning testimony. That, you know, it's something a bit more than... They have 7-second footage. Yeah, this is... There's no way this is an accident. Brief recording of that's his experience obtained from local traffic AI. However, I believe there's more we can get from N97P. Because we'd never asked where do the tow trucks park. Is it close to the robot? So just in case it does not park exactly, it stops in front of the robot perpendicular to it, taking 3 spaces. Alright, and everything else looked to be stuff that we already have. However, there is apparently one more witness. Oh, new witness. I discovered name Vatrin Rastanak from your conversation. They appear to be a person of interest. I've added them to your contact list. That's probably one of the two people in the tow truck. Hey, Ezra. Oh, it's a contact from Ezra. Never mind. Hey, Ezra asked me to talk to you about your case. Hello, Vatrin. Thanks for the call. My main concern was about the cost of my plant's repairs. But implied it might not be possible to help it return to its old self. It's a Nurturer 5000. Is a Nurturer 5000 fixable? You know, the cost of potential repairs is important. Wow, it must be more than 35 years old. Well, if you can find spare parts anywhere but a museum, they should be real cheap. That's for sure. Slapping on some random stuff would definitely cripple it more. It needs paradigm processing transference before installing any new hardware. But simply, you find an old motherboard and CPU to be the interface between your client and something small, let's say a laptop. Then you let all day I learn how new software works. Not very exciting, but it is a long process. Can you give me a ballpark cost for all of this, and can I put your name under my claim? A 35-year-old machine, it should take about 3 weeks of transference. And then it's 4 if you want to be safe, plus replacement parts. Another set should be about 35 to 40k credits. And yes, you can put my name on your statement. Thanks, that was a big help. This is all I need from you. This is all I need for now, thanks. Alright, so we have a new argument. At least I thought we did. Yeah, quality of life, damages by expert. Correct needs about 40k credits worth of services to get back to health. For anyone who was thinking the industrial parts are not as expensive, note that credit is about 35 years old. And so, nature of negligence. The driver knew they might harm the robot besides them when they turned the crane on. Honestly, it's sounding more and more like they absolutely knew and either didn't give a shit or did it completely intentionally. Like, or is there anything else I can get from Krut, maybe? Because apparently there's another witness. But I think it's something I have to get by talking to N97P somehow. I've gone through all the dialogue options. Let's see if there's any more dialogue options here. Nope. See, I'm gonna study, I'm just gonna study art. That's all I'm able to get from known harm. So let's study quality of life. Alright, so we have no more arguments to acquire through new study. Is there any way I can find out anything about who Citizen, say Citizen 2291752 is? Sector Pelican Baseball Octagon. Right, so as far as I can tell, I've gone through everything that I can do before heading into the courtroom. So now if I can just find my way over to where I go to skip time and just start the, the trial. Oh, that's where the skip time button is. You know what? Wait until something interesting happens. Nothing special has happened, but I want to double check in case. Right. So I'm going to assume that we've got everything. Because I get the feeling that this is a bit different from other games with similar genre. I sort of tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This is a hearing/trial. This is a trial of Crut, the Nature Tender, v. Carry-On LLC. If you are in this session and by accident leave immediately, else you'll be liable on grounds of data privacy. Please swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please claim your assigned slots. Banner stipend is enabled. Court is now in session. This is a case of Crut, the Nature Tender, v. Carry-On LLC. A counsel of Carry-On LLC shall start. Ladies and gentlemen, a free air of the jury, and free air of the jury, you will easily see the claims of plaintiff as unfounded. This is as an outcast has an effort to leech off of predictive member. Cranes are used every day. Even if the accusations were true and my client was liable, 11 sensors and 2 industrial rotor systems seems too much for just a couple of seconds. Besides, I had a regular industrial magnet. Even if the damages are real and liabilities with Carrion LLC, it seems that a bunch of sensors and rotors There's a plight of elderly AI living in the front. Just society is heartbreaking. This should not permit anyone to tarnish the reputation of a company. This is all I have to say for now. I expect wisdom of jury to sort fact from the fiction. The defense can now give their opening statements. Of course, Your Honor. We have information on the individual jurors. Right. Arguments. Let's see. I'm going to open up with the fact that Brett had no major issues before the incident. Taking just a calm, peaceful life committed to service as of humans, just to make the nature we look at even prettier. Can slant it, spin it. Ooh, this is not a luck. You probably never met people as careless as or default. Let's see. Haven't really been given much of a clear explanation of how the court mechanic works exactly. Right, so unless we go with spin, we're mostly going on fairness. Like dramatize and spin, bump up sanctity a bit. So I think these values, you know, the values of the jury. So let's see. The fairness. Well, let's just go for the default. Brett had no major issues before the incident. And see. I'm gonna throw in that this incident effectively took away my client's ability to work and sustain themselves. Maybe focus at. This isn't effectively. He took away my client's ability to work and sustain itself as a free member of a society. You'll see how that goes. We can even throw on maybe... He needs about 40k credits worth of services to get back to health. It's not something Kurt would cost to himself. This is just a small number compared to the mental torture of not being able to use your body. This is all I have to say for now. I will expect wisdom of jury to sort fact from the fiction. Ooh, I assume that the cyan people are on my side. So it looks like counsel should start examining their witnesses now. Opposing counsel can start. As you wish, Your Honor. I want to call Brett to the stand. Brett, can you tell us about your regular day? I do freelance as gardening in the neighborhood and restart an arrest by metered public charger. How's your relationship with the people around the neighborhood? How do you maintain yourself? Well, I chat with people in the neighborhood and scrapyard. I usually look for reusable and cheap parts in scrapyard. Are you designed to operate in a scrapyard? No, madam. I'm designed for outdoors such as gardens, lawns, and farms. My model was also used in arboreal environments. Keeping that in mind, can we say that you would be more prone to accidents in a scrapyard than in your intended habitat? I'm an industrial model all around, sir. It is possible but not probable. I see. When was your last official checkup by an expert? It's been 7 years since the company discontinued my model, so... about a decade. Here to go. So you're saying there was no documentation of your healthy operation prior to this incident? Objection. Yeah, I don't think there was a way to switch to the line of questioning. This is the next line of questioning. Have you ever encountered a magnetic crane? Yes, I have. You handle encountering one. Most adult humans realize that I'm an older model, so they warn me. Or else, if I see one, I talk to the owners and operators and avoid them. So you're making an active effort to avoid magnetic cranes? Yes, but... does your lack of EMP shield... Seems the game has frozen momentarily. Somebody else's problem when you sleep or stand by. Defense rests, Your Honor. You continue examination of Kurt. We'll call a new witness to testify. I mean, it looks like it's only giving me the option to, to cross-examine Pratt, so... Pratt, can you please give a rundown of the unfortunate day you were crippled? I mowed 3 lawns, headed to the scrapyard around 6, was told to come by early in the morning. I parked in the lot and hooked myself to a charger and went to sleep. Around 9 p.m. I was told to come by early in the morning. Woke up to magnetic interference and then realized it was a crane driving away. Going to say, when did you realize the damages were severe? It was the next morning. I was concerned for my performance at the moment, but I thought it would be normalized the next day. However, next morning I was still all partially broken. Can you give a clear list of the damage to the jury? With my 12 visual senses, 8 of them can't process depth and distinguish edges, and 7 of them can't process color. Two rotor systems in my mid-right leg do not respond optimally. Most of the time, I stomp that leg and sometimes I can't land it, even if I'm running the same mobility controls I've had since I was made. Just continuing to be typing noises, but no more text. How do these damages affect your day-to-day routine? Well, sir, I can't or shouldn't move. I have a difficult time distinguishing objects from background. Also, damaging hard surface because of my stomping. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna rest on that. Defense rest, Your Honor. Well, that went well. Got just over half the jury in my favor from the looks of it. Sir, please calm down. What a farce. I will not tolerate judicial system treating me in lines of code like me. Order, order. Listen to your counsel, mister. Okay, I said. Listening to these senseless machines will be your reckoning. Oh. Also, there appears to be a glitch. None of us should be listening to this object. Well, that's some clear bias, Mr. Kanek. Sir, please calm down. Congratulations, you've completed the demo. Click here to wishlist the game and be notified when the full game is released. Your clients need you. Ah. Okay, so I don't even get to complete... So it doesn't even contain a complete trial. Guess I'll be waiting until the full game is out. Alright. So that's Justice.exe for tonight and until the full game is released. Took an hour and a minute to get through that. So I've still got a whole 2 hours I can stream in. I think I will switch over to that and more soon. Just as soon as I say exactly what that and more will be. And when I do, I will stop and restart stream for ease of ability. Alright, so I will be right back. And when I get back, I will stop and restart stream team so they can easily get everything over to YouTube.